I didn't grow up in Christianity. I didn't know Jesus. My family didn't know Jesus. Grew up in a broken home. Split parents, very, very poor. My grandma was like a second mom to me from birth. Like, not even a second mom, like another mom. And then we'd move around with my mom, and then we'd move back with my grandma, and kind of like never stayed at one school, no stability. Very young, was pretty suicidal and cutting myself and doing all types of stuff like that, fighting people at school, getting kicked out of schools, moving all over the place. The first suspension I got from school was like in grade 2, fighting. If I were to guess the amount of times that I've fought on the streets, it would be somewhere from 70 to 150. Just rage, man, just rage. The earliest memories I have of being like really, really broken is like 10, 12 years old, like holding a knife to my throat saying I'm gonna kill myself over insane stuff. Started to getting into the drug world probably at like 12, 13 years old. Started selling like large amounts, like pounds and pounds of weed while I was still in high school. It didn't take long for that to turn into selling harder drugs. My mom was losing the house due to like severe mouse infestation. So there wasn't a place for me and they didn't know where to go. My dad was not in good shape and I wasn't willing to go and live with him. So I remember sitting alone, realizing that I had no one. That was tough. That was a tough moment. Ended up getting a couple jobs here and there. Enjoyed building and stuff and whatever, but just kept going back to full-time selling drugs because that's where the money was at. Everyone thought I was the cool guy. People were scared of me. They knew me as someone that liked to fight. I felt power in the fact that, I was feared. I got my thrills from doing bad stuff and people thinking I was cool. But when I was alone, by myself, I felt very empty. From my early adult years, I was having like bad dreams after one of those demonic attacks that was really, really scarring to me and terrifying, beyond terrifying. I accepted the Lord into my life on the phone with my uncle. About 5.5 years ago, I realized the power of the name Jesus, but I kept that private. And I still swore his name with my buddies and stuff like that. So I met Jillian, like 7.5 years ago. She ended up having housing issues really quick, and she had a little boy already that was like 1.5 years, 2 years old. And they had nowhere to go, so I said, come stay at my place. Within a month, I got the news that we were expecting a baby. I was like terrified. I was in no shape to be like a father. Like, it was one thing to like help out in the situation she was in. It was another thing to bring a little baby into the world, especially how I was living my life. We fought the whole pregnancy. It was horrible. I couldn't accept Jillian's love at all. I ended up super deep in addiction. I had multiple of my friends die. Really, really good friend of mine showed up on his motorcycle and he was bugging me to go for a ride, and I told him I can't right now. I said, I gotta study, man. He ended up saying, okay, I'm gonna bounce then. Give me a shout later if you're down to go for a ride. And I told him I would. And then my son Zach looked at him and he said, where are you going? And he said, I'm just going to have a little fun. He left, didn't think anything of it. And I got a call from his girlfriend who said that they were meeting at the shop. And she said she sees a motorcycle on the ground and she thinks it might be his. And she was freaking out. I got in my truck and started pinning it down Mary McGrath. Like, I showed up and I just seen his bike on the ground. Like, he just left my house, man. And an officer came up to me and said that my friend didn't make it. That's so hard, man. I love that, dude. Also had another really good friend of mine down 2 hills. Stepmom died in that time. Lots of other buddies died from addiction. My old roommate died from addiction. Just so much death at such a young age. My friends were rough crowds. Motorcycle riding, beer drinking, troublemaking, drug using, drug dealing people. Just like myself. And we were all hanging out here. We were playing darts. We were getting rowdy, throwing beers, smashing stuff, doing what we do. The wife and kids are in the house, totally absent to them still. After everybody left, I stayed in here by myself and doing lines, still drinking, just sitting on a stool like this, just over there. And I heard from God for the first time. He told me that I'm gonna end up being next, that if I don't choose him, not in like a threatening way, like in a way that like the walk that I'm leading down, it was very, very vivid, that I was gonna be next. And I sat there and I'm like, but I'm two. Look at me, man. Like, who are you? Like, you're gonna choose me? I don't know about that. And just kind of drank last beer can hits the ground, just put my face in my hands. And I knew what I had to do. I knew I had to go to church. I wasn't sure what to expect when I told Jillian, like, we gotta go to church, or I need to go to church. But when I told her, like, her face looked like a weight was lifted off of her. And she was actually super excited for it. The morning that we went to go to church for the first time, we were screaming at each other, to the point like every swear word in the book, just like so violently screaming at each other. And I told her that I'm going to church with or without you and the kids. We made it to church on time, believe it or not. I didn't know what to expect walking into a church. It was like the Lord was speaking to me, specifically, as if someone told this pastor everything about me. the injectable steroids and addiction to cocaine, like they left like this, like a week into these events of meeting the Lord and then going to this church. I was really confused because I would try to hang out with my old friends still, and I would try to honestly live the old life still, but there was a separation. Something happened. My grandma, she's 80. She was the only one in my whole family. She went to a church, just kind of kept it to herself. And I thought that me coming to the Lord, because I knew that she read her Bible sometimes, I thought it was going to make us super close. And then to find out she's in like a different faith. And I'm like, what? Like, what's a different faith? Like, it's just Jesus. She ended up leaving her church, her religion that she was doing for 40 years, just very, very broken. I felt super pulled to call her. Like, I felt like something was wrong. So I called her and she was bawling. She was crying. I just got a word from the Lord that said I needed to pray for her, like right now. Like, that's why I called her. So I started praying for her, and in the prayer, like, I started just like, I didn't know how to pray very well, right? And then I'm just praying in power over my grandma, declaring things, and it's just like scripture pouring out of me that I didn't even know. And I'm like I could feel the sensation on my arms, like it's fully wrapping around me. And she's like weeping, but then she starts like weeping like in joy. You can hear it through the phone, or everything changed. Jillian was like sitting beside me, and while I was praying, and I could feel the sensation of something. She seen an angel standing in front of me in my living room of this house. She drew a picture of this angel. We were up all night, like for hours, talking about this experience. My grandma was like, I forget how she said, something along the lines like, I can't even explain how much I feel, like just so much better. Like it was crazy, man. I had a grade 3 reading comprehension level in my 4th year of college. Like, my wife would help me with my homework all through college. Like, my 4th year, and she would read to me so I could like do my homework. After I met the Lord, and I could read the Bible. I can't even explain this to you, how I would like read the words on the page just like so fluently, to have that healed through just Jesus. I had 2 reconstructive surgeries to my shoulder and was bolted together for 2 years like this. It was good for nothing but a cup holder, you know, and was told like I would never put my arm over my head again, let alone like fully functional with like anything. And I'm traveling like all over boxing. Make it make sense. Like, boxing ended up being a time that I just spent alone with the Lord, listening to Jesus rap, worship music, whatever, just alone. We say fighting, but like, there's no rage. I don't know, there's just so much healing. The Lord's taught me so much through boxing, through perseverance, through like time, through like discipline, you know? Never had a discipline in my life that was good, you know? There's like revelations the Lord's brought to me through it. I've gone through times of being very finger pointy at people in the church, and then crying out to the Lord, being like, how many people are like really, really following you, Lord? Like, what's going on? And what he said was, how many people are like real fighters at the boxing gym? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe 10%. And he's like, what do you do with the other 90%? Some people come for fitness. Some people come to say they're a boxer, and they don't really do anything. They duck out on sparring and stuff. And he said, what do you do with them, the other 90%? I said, well, I help them. He said, do the same in the church. Since then, gotten really close with pastors. I lead a men's group. I volunteer with the youth. Not as like a woe is me, I'm doing stuff. As I'm pursuing Jesus, man. Just my personal walk with the Lord. Every hour, everything I do is like me talking to the Lord. Is this where I should be? Is this what I should be doing? And my whole path is just like healed in that, in knowing Jesus as a friend, and through the power of the Spirit, I have a new life. The prodigal son, I was lost and now I'm found. I was dead and now I'm alive. Coming to Jesus isn't like, how good can I be now, or do I got it all figured out? Come to Jesus messy. Come to Jesus broken. The toughest part is you won't have it all figured out at all. But he gets to start to work on you, and there's transformative power in Jesus. There's like nothing else. There's nothing else. So that's me today. Since meeting Jesus for real, to now, I'm a present father. I no longer live a selfish life. I've lost 60 pounds. My shoulder, my care for life, my feeling of purpose, so many things. I'm healed. Today, me and Jillian we're in love. I've received her love for me after seeing the love of Jesus on my life and knowing him and talking to him. I was able to receive the love Jillian had for me. Our relationship's healed. I'm not saying we don't have troubles, we do, but we don't fight each other. We fight our problems together. The fact that my kids get stability now, since me and the Lord, we have a great home. Me and my wife love each other, and their parents love each other. It's an incredible gift. Yeah, when we talk about my faith life, that's it, man. I'm still human for now. I got tough days and good days like the rest of us. But I know where I'm going, and I know who I met. If anyone was too far gone, for God's grace, it was me. And he chose me, and he lifted me up, and he gave me new life. No one is too far gone for the grace of God. We read it, people hear it on a Sunday, but when you really know it, that's different.